Father McMahon. Father McMahon, it's 5 till 8.
Don't know how many times.
I can't hear you.
I don't know how many times exactly. I do it every day, Father. I can't seem to help myself.
You know it's an offense to God?
Yes, Father. But is it really hurting anybody? I'm just asking your opinion.
I'm giving you the church's opinion.
Yeah, but if you can't touch a girl and you can't touch yourself, then what are you supposed to do?
You know what you're supposed to do.
Father.
Say 3 Hail Marys and 3 Our Fathers and make a good act of contrition.
Yes, but...
Come on, come on.
Oh, my God. I'm heartily sorry.
Get back in line. Who do you think you are? Who do you think you are? Wait your turn.
Hey! Be quiet. Who is that? Is that Pedro Morales?
Carlos, father. My friend. The man bad hurt. You come, okay?
Carlos, did the man ask for a priest?
No, father. See.
No, Father, see. Look, go around to the rectory and you ask for Monsignor Casey.
No, you, father. You. Está muy malo.
Go and find the Monsignor and tell him what's happened, and he will send Father Purdy to hear your confession. Get there the fastest way you know how. I'll follow you. Something tied in here.
Oh, it's like this.
Nim?
What?
Oh, you're not her. Who are you?
I'm Father McMahon. Carlos brought me.
I told him no. I don't want anybody.
What's happened to you? Oh, my God. Carlos, go and find a policeman. Tell him to bring an ambulance.
No. Nobody.
You've got to have some help.
Oh. Don't worry. Carlos.
See, amigo?
You can go now. I'm okay. You did good. Vaya a casa.
Pero...
Anda listo. Un scram. Okay, amigo?
Okay.
Who did this to you?
Are you the vindictive type, Padre?
No, I just want to help you.
That's not the way.
In the name of the Father, and of the Son.
No. That's not it either.
You can't be all that cool about it. Are you truly ready to die?
I had better be, wouldn't you say?
What can I do? I want to help you.
I'm sorry.
Do you believe Jesus Christ can be your salvation?
That's between him and me. And nobody else. And I'll know about all that soon enough.
You sound as though you already know.
I know the answer's not here.
How do you know that?
Just get to know yourself, my friend. Just get to know you.
Oh, gentle Christ. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Mrs. Phelan!
Hello, Father. What brings you out in the world?
Deathbed call. Well, no bed, just a death.
Around here?
Over there.
Anyone we know?
No one I know.
Are you giving last rites to strangers, Father? That's risky, isn't it? You might get a Hindu or a Buddhist who'll wind up in the wrong heaven. Well, who was he?
There was no identification on him. He was a young man, 30 at the most. Had a beard. You all right? What was his name?
It doesn't matter.
Perhaps you'll want to talk to the police. They don't have much to go on.
If you spent more time on the street, Father, you'd realize we don't go to them. They come to us. They're going to find out about Rod and me soon enough. Didn't take you long, did it?
I didn't find out much, except his name was Rod.
Roderick O'Connor. Did he say anything? Did he mention me?
There wasn't much time. He hardly spoke at all. Did he call you Nim?
Nim? He called me Maureen. It's okay, I don't expect you to remember. We have so many wayward sheep in your little flock.
I remember. Perhaps you'd like to come and talk.
We've been down that road already, haven't we, Father? Well, you haven't told me how he died.
He'd been stabbed.
Well, it's funny you leaving that out as if you assumed I already knew.
He seemed like a very special man. Anything at all you might tell me about him?
Yeah, what can I say? It was great in bed.
to live in it.
In that place?
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't live in it as a ghost. Now watch, there's right in the second floor there, see?
What'd you wish, George?
Well, not just one wish, a whole hatful. Mary, I know what I'm going to do tomorrow and the next day and next year and the year after that. I'm shaking the dust of this crummy little town off my feet, and I'm going to see the world. Italy, Greece, the Parthenon, the Colosseum. Then I'm coming back here and go to college and see what they know. And then I'm going to build things. I'm going to build airfields. I'm going to build skyscrapers 100 stories high. I'm going to build bridges a mile long.
You all right, Joseph?
You going to throw a rock?
Good evening, Monsignor.
Well, you seemed preoccupied at dinner.
I was out on the streets today. So many suffering people.
Well, those who want to help know where to find us.
Well, some of them have. A woman I've been trying to help practically spit in my face today.
People without true faith will always feel angry.
We all get angry, Monsignor.
Of course, but see, people without God in their lives will always feel lonely and frustrated, and well, sometimes they blame us.
I don't mind being blamed. I mind being unable to help those who feel beyond hope.
Well, we can't help everyone, Joseph.
I saw a man die today who was full of hope. I couldn't help him either.
Or so he thought. We all have a right to make our own mistakes. God, in his love, gave us that option.
Thank you for reminding me, Monsignor.
Well, I'll be off to bed.
Good night.
Good night, Joseph. Oh, I'll just close this door. We don't want to disturb Father Purdy.
No. We don't want to disturb Father Purdy. didn't go for the gun. I went for the flashlight.
Good luck to you. Nearly cost you everything about the collar.
It's just an instinct. You want to see who your assailant is?
Assailant is right. Could have blown your head off. Realize that? What the hell are you doing up here anyway, Father?
Is that what this is? Hell? It's more like somebody's idea of heaven. Did O'Connor paint all these?
As far as we know. What are you doing here? What do you expect to find?
Not what you're after.
What does that mean? You're trying to insult me, you gotta be blunt. Not very sensitive. My wife will bear me out on that.
I mean that I wasn't looking to solve his death. I witnessed his death. That wasn't what I was looking for. I was,
Well, what were you looking for?
I don't know.
You drink, Father?
Me? No. Never.
We don't exactly see you out on the street too much, Father.
Guess I tend to stay pretty close to home.
I gather most of you guys over at St. Timothy's aren't exactly on the best of terms with your people, like some of the other parishes in the area.
No, I guess not.
And I guess you wouldn't know then that your painter friend, O'Connor, was shacked up with Maureen Phelan, Mrs. Dan Phelan. She runs an apartment building up in the street.
I know the woman. I doubt that O'Connor could have been shacked up with her, as you put it. I don't...
Oh, no, you know, she says he was just a tenant of hers. Had the spare room in her apartment, but our information says he seldom slept there.
Now, where is Dan Phelan supposed to have been while all this is going on?
Out, mostly. Out getting plastered. Mostly in gay bars, according to our information.
Dan?
That surprises you?
I don't believe it.
Hey, you really do stick pretty close to home, don't you, Joseph? I'm sorry. Look, in my family, it was a big deal if you could call a priest by his first name. Made you a big man. You know, I almost went into a seminary.
What happened?
Got into the police academy instead. Well, that was a choice for us Irish boys, wasn't it? A priest or a cop. I wonder if it's all that different. You know, in the academy, they fill you up with all kinds of theory. Then you come out on the street and like it's a different world.
Full of people?
Yeah, too many. You know, they don't like us, Father. They may respect us. Damn glad we're here when they need us, but they don't relate to us as human beings.
Maybe you only treat them as human beings when they need you.
Maybe you only treat them as human beings when they don't.
Are we still talking generalities, Mulligan?
Let's talk about you.
Okay.
Now, everybody likes Father McMahon. Everybody you talk to.
Good. Good.
The curious thing is, nobody knows you.
I'm sorry, I didn't know. I just tried the first door I came to.
It's all right. Can I help you?
Could you tell me where to find Father McMahon?
I'm Father McMahon.
Oh. This article in this morning's paper about the man you found in the empty building. I wondered, I just wanted to find out if maybe...
Are you Ned?
Miss, wait a minute. Miss.
Ah, ladies in the sacristy, Father McMahon. You've only 3 minutes to Mass.
It's not what it seems.
Well, few things are nowadays. Alas, very few things.
Hello. You are Nim, aren't you?
Yes.
May I talk to you?
Come on in.
Nim, is that short for,
Don't talk. You'll need all your strength for the stairs.
Let me carry those. You got 3 locks?
Yeah, that's all I could afford. Thanks. My name's Nana Marie. How'd you find me?
You dropped this.
Oh, neat.
This is nice.
Thanks. Sort of early Betty Davis. You climb flight after flight up a dingy stairwell, and suddenly all of this luxury in the midst of squalor. Or is it the other way around?
I think I saw that one on television. I wanted to give you the moon.
What for, when I already had the stars? That's a different one. I always wondered what priests do at night. Now I know. They watch television.
You're a painter.
Yes.
May I see what's on your easel?
No. I never show anyone anything I'm working on. Would you let me read one of your sermons when it's only half written?
I don't know. Can't imagine you're wanting to.
You hate it here, don't you?
No. Why do you say that?
You look so uncomfortable.
I'm just taking it all in.
Why don't you go sit down?
I will.
That's my bed.
Very nice.
You can sit on it if you want. Have you ever been in a girl's apartment before?
Well.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's none of my business. Look, I'm sorry for the way I behaved this morning, too. I didn't mean to bust into your locker room, whatever you call it.
Sacristy.
And I didn't mean to charge off like that, either. It's just that when you said my name, I knew the man you found was Emile. I knew he was dead.
Did you say Emile?
Oh, yeah, I know. The newspaper said he was using some other name.
Roderick O'Connor.
But I knew him as Emile Bernard. He always used the French pronunciation. I think his father came from Montreal originally.
How do we know it's the same man? That's him.
You smoke pot or hash or anything?
No, I never have.
Well, don't get your hopes up. I don't have any. What about a drink? Are you allowed to drink in that outfit?
Only if I'm thirsty.
I don't think I have anything but brandy. Come on. This has been here for months. It was his. Cheers.
Schlenk.
What's that?
It's Irish.
Is it clean?
I don't know. Nobody will tell me.
You're a little bit of a flirt, aren't you?
I am?
Oh, I mean in a nice Catholic sort of way. I'll bet you're a wow with the ladies at the bingo games.
I'm very big at bingo.
See? Care for some chocolate with that?
No, thanks.
Oh, I'm a candy freak. Why don't we go sit down?
Okay.
An orange pass.
Beg your pardon?
Oh, that was a thing of Emile's. Whenever there's a lull in the conversation, the French say an angel is passing.
An angel of silence.
We're both avoiding the subject, aren't we? He was a beautiful man. I don't just mean physically, although well, you saw him. But he was beautiful inside, too. He was kind and gentle and loving. He gave love and received love more naturally, I mean less self-consciously, than anyone I ever met. He had a great gift. I think everyone who ever knew him was changed some way.
Don't say any more.
No, I want to. God, I'm making him sound like some kind of saint or something, and he wasn't. I mean, we lived together for a year. And he was never thoughtless or inconsiderate. But about 6 months ago, look, I can't even say he walked out on me. One night he just didn't come home. No phone call, no letter, nothing. I never saw him again. Do they know about me?
I don't think so.
Are you going to tell them?
Not if you don't want me to. I don't think you killed him.
Why not?
Because he smiled when he spoke your name.
Look, I'm not being rude. You're a very nice man. I just wish you'd go now.
I want you to know he died with grace.
Amazing grace? That's a Protestant virtue, isn't it?
I only meant he surrendered his life gracefully.
Well, I suppose with you there, it must have seemed like he was guaranteed safe conduct right through them pearly gates.
There wasn't much I could do about it. He did it all himself.
Well, how lonely.
Then I've described it badly.
You seem like you admire him for not needing your services. That may be very humane, but it doesn't seem like sound theology.
I'm not a theologian.
What are you?
You miserable, lying, two-faced creep, I'll kill you.
No, Maureen.
Don't you Maureen me. I'll have your badge, you see if I don't. I've got connections in this precinct, you better believe it. Father! Father! For God's sake, where have you been?
Had to go downtown.
I called the rectory 20
I
times.
just now got your message. What happened?
Danny boy likes to play with knives. He got hurt.
They questioned him for 12 hours. He was a wreck when he came home. He went into the kitchen and he took a knife.
Right in the guts. Just like the other guy. Been on the table for over 2 hours now.
He's dying. They said that he killed Rod, and now he's dying. He's up there bleeding to death. And they're saying that the only reason I was with Rod was because Dan was... You know what these pigs are saying about Dan?
We happened to mention that we picked him up in an after-hours club in the village, where the customers are exclusively male.
They're saying that he's gay, that he hangs out in gay bars. They're telling me this when he's up there dying.
Well, Detective Mulligan is noted for his subtlety and his exquisite sense of timing.
Mrs. Phelan's had a few drinks in the tavern across the street.
Oh, yeah, he bought them for me, too. That's what they do, you know. They try to get you drunk so you spill everything. They pretend to care about you, but you're just a thing to them. Something they use to get what they want.
Well, that's basically what you said about the church, isn't it, Maureen? When Father McMahon didn't answer your phone calls?
Oh, he pumped me about you, too, Father. Don't you think he didn't?
She tells us you gave her special counseling about sexual matters.
That's none of your business.
How to get her husband to be more attentive. Let's get that old birth rate rolling, right? I'm afraid it is our business. But it appears the technique didn't work on Dan, but it was very effective with the deceased.
You see what he's saying? Like I ran out and grabbed the first pair of pants I could find. And you should have heard him in the saloon. He says, what's Father McMahon to you? And I say, he's my priest. What the hell do you think he is? And he says, well, he's a man too, isn't he, Maureen? With a bit of a thirst. Oh, yeah, he gets very Irish when he's got the needle in. With a bit of a thirst, and maybe a bit of a hunger as well, eh, Maureen?
Well, you're a bit of a clod, aren't you, Mulligan? Could I have some time alone with Maureen?
Without a whip and a chair? Be my guest.
Level with me, Maureen.
It wasn't the way that cop said about Rod and me. He painted some apartments in the building, and I rented him a room. And he didn't want me. He didn't want to hurt Dan. But I did.
You knew about Dan?
I knew that nothing was happening between us. That's why I came to you.
And I couldn't help.
I guess I would have known the truth if I had been willing to look at it. But I just wanted to punish him for not being the kind of man I wanted him to be. So one night I got Rod drunk on wine, and it happened. And Dan came home. I knew he would.
You planned it?
One of the few times I ever succeeded in doing what I set out to do. I'm sorry.
You're good.
No.
Yes, you are.
Not good enough.
Do you enjoy it?
Yeah.
Then it's plenty good enough.
Did Emil do that?
Enjoy his painting? I don't think so. His standards were too high. I have the feeling he used to just go up there day after day and sit and stare at those pictures and try to think what went wrong between his head and his hand. Funny when you think how dissatisfied Emil was that anybody else would want them badly enough to steal them.
Steal them?
Somebody broke in last night and cleaned the place out. Not just his pictures, everything. His paints, his brushes. As if they were trying to remove every trace of him. I want to show you something.
But wait a minute, I'm a priest. Don't forget.
I think you can handle this. I was in this gallery on Madison Avenue. I only went in there because I had some time to kill before my hour on the couch, which is actually only half an hour twice a week. You really want to know me?
I'll risk it.
Well, they're having this joint show. 2 different painters. Their names are Roderick O'Connor and Emile Bernard.
There must be 30 or 40 pictures and drawings, and none of them, not one, is the least bit like Emile's work. Excuse me.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Hi.
If you have any questions, perhaps I can help you.
O'Connor and Bernard.
Yes, what would you like to know?
They're not modern painters, are they? I mean, living painters, are they?
Oh, no. As you can see from the dates, they both flourished around the turn of the century. If flourished is the right word. They were not great painters. They were, second-raters.
Satellites. Very naughty of you, Mason. Here, darling, take my things. And baby.
Oh.
We never use words like second-raters. You can't build an army with nothing but great generals, can you? You must have marvelous captains and lieutenants.
This is my wife, Mrs. Drum. And this is Pookie. You're in expert hands now. I was just minding the store.
You must forgive me, but I can never tell a Roman collar from an Episcopalian. Is it Reverend or Father?
Father McMahon. This is Nana Marie Fitzpatrick.
Hi.
Miss Fitzpatrick is a painter.
Is she? How nice. I'm always happy to meet young painters, but the field is so competitive, as I'm sure you know. That is what decided me on this type of gallery. Oh, dear. You're not terribly interested in all of this, are you?
No, it's just that we have or had a friend, another painter.
He had a thing about aliases.
At various times, he lived under both the names Emile Bernard and Roderick O'Connor.
How wonderfully bizarre.
We wondered if you knew him.
Oh, who knows? Certainly not under any of those names, but then again, he could have been anybody.
Emile wasn't just anybody.
Oh? Who was he?
I mean, you'd have remembered him if you'd ever met.
Was he so striking?
Yes.
He had a beard.
Oh, they all have a beard.
His eyes.
Yes, what about his eyes?
They were very penetrating. If you were any kind of a phony or you were trying to hide anything, you'd have felt they saw right through you.
Well, how tedious for his friends. You may call that magnetism. I call it socially regrettable. No, I am quite relieved to say that I never met your missing painter or, thank God, anyone remotely like him.
He's not missing. He's dead. He was murdered.
Well, I'm sorry. I wish I could help you, but,
Of course, we've taken too much of your time already. We have to be going anyway. We have another appointment, but thank you for your trouble. Come on, Nim. Bye.
I don't believe her.
You think they knew Emile?
I think they might have. I wouldn't believe anything that woman said.
What about her husband?
I don't know.
He was listening to the conversation.
I know, listening and watching like a tomcat we used to have that had been fixed. You take my word for it, Mrs. Drum's a natural-born veterinarian. I'm sorry if I offend you, but that's pretty euphemistic for me.
I'm not offended.
Good. What exactly are we doing, for God's sake?
We're trying to find out what his life was from the time he left you until the day he died.
And then you can sleep soundly at night.
What is that supposed to mean?
Whatever you want it to mean. Like an abstract painting, that's what it means.
Why the remark about how I sleep? You don't know how I sleep.
Well, I've never slept with you, if that's what you mean. Where are we going?
I have to get back. Gotta go to the hospital and be back by 7 for devotions.
Devotion at any hour, terrific.
What?
It was nice the way you took my arm and said we had to go before she could throw us out. And the way you said, come on now, that was very nice. Sort of proprietary. I felt like I belonged to you. Relax, I didn't mean it literally. Are you guys allowed to have a friend?
Good God. How could anybody be expected to live without friends?
Live without a lot of other things. I'll probably be out all day tomorrow. I have to get a lot of new brushes.
I have a pretty full schedule myself. I've got classes, choir practice, benediction, rosary tomorrow night. Can you get home all right?
Oh, yeah. The thugs are all having their dinner.
Bye.
Well, what do you know? Ain't a mercy call, Father?
How's Phelan?
Danny boy? He's blooming. You'll be amazed.
And the investigation?
Not bad. The dead man's name was really Stuart Chase. The Army had his fingerprints on file. He'd done a tour in the Philippines. He was born in Madison, Wisconsin. I notified his mother. She wants him buried in Madison, and a mass said here for his friends. I gave her your number.
He was a Catholic then?
Makes it all the more unusual that he wouldn't let you get in the last rites of the church, doesn't it?
Anything else?
Oh, don't feel threatened, but I've been hearing confessions on the side.
Dan?
Who had a better motive?
Dr. Philip Ingria, you have a call on 52.
I don't believe you did it.
You better believe it.
Why?
I want them to kill me. Look at me. I couldn't even do that by myself.
Why on earth would you want to die? You're a young man.
I'm a young something.
You ashamed of what you are?
You know about it. You don't know anything about it. I did it because I'm sick of being ashamed. I'm sick of having to pass judgment on myself.
Why didn't you come to me, Dan?
I mean, so you could do it? I came to you once when I was a senior in high school. You don't remember. You didn't know me then. I was just a voice in the confessional box. I told you about this thing that happened between me and another boy in the showers. I was in big trouble, man. And all you could say was it was wicked. It was an offense to God. I needed help. I needed somebody I could talk to. And you just gave me penance, said, don't do it again.
It is very, very difficult to go into complicated problems in the confessional. There is so little time and so many people. If you had come to the rector...
Oh, forget it. I couldn't face you across the table, man. I was 17. I was scared. I didn't know what was happening to me. You were the last one I could have sat down like that and talked to about it.
Why, Dad?
You and Father McMahon. You were my idea of everything a priest should be. Everything a man should be. Clean. Strong. You had to despise a freak like me, right?
Danny.
Sit across the table from you, oh perfect father. You're talking to somebody who can't even look at himself in a mirror.
God requires our full attention. That is, if we're to serve him as fully as possible.
What about the people out there? How do we serve them?
You know how. We teach them about God.
If they're not too scared to listen or to come in here at all. I don't want to lose those people. I want to take Jesus Christ directly to them and not simply sit around and pray that they'll wander through the door. We need to know what's on their minds.
We need to concern ourselves with God's mind, and that never changes.
But all around us, the church is changing. We can provide leadership in the community. For God's sake, in California, an archbishop has publicly acknowledged the gay Catholics. Now, how do you suppose that made those people feel?
We've got to be strong in what we know to be God's will. That's a life's work in itself. Well, it's my life's work. And yours.
Hello? Just a moment, please. It's for Father McMahon. Shall I ask her to call back?
Well, we can continue this another time.
Excuse me. Hello?
Hi.
Oh. Hi.
Is this a bad time to call? No. You weren't eating or anything.
Yes, matter of fact.
I'll hang up.
No, don't do that. Are you still there?
Yes.
Glad you called.
Well, I got a call from that guy Mason Drum. Hello?
Yeah, I'm here.
Well, don't you think it's sort of peculiar, him calling me out of the blue like that?
What do you want?
He said that what he wants mainly is to see my work and when I have dinner with him tomorrow night. Some posh French restaurant he owns a share of. I know it was a lie, but I said, well, I already had this appointment with you. And he said, fine, bring him along, which is what I'd hoped he'd say because I certainly don't want to be alone with him. Was that okay?
Well, yes, that sounds fine.
See, I thought we'd show him the portrait I did of Emile. He may have known him under some name we don't even know about.
That's a thought. Did you mention the portrait to him?
No.
Well, don't. And I guess I'll see you tomorrow at,
7. He's going to pick us up downstairs, and then we'll come back here after dinner.
I'll see you at 7 then.
Okay, bye.
I think I need a respirator.
Don't give up now, we're here.
Oh, it's charming. Tell me, do you have a little boy's room?
I have a little girls' room, but little boys are more than welcome.
Oh, I'm delighted to hear it. It's coeducation in its purest form.
Yeah. This is out of sequence. It's part of that same series you saw before, the flower forms.
Yes, I recognize it. That whole series is, well, it's so different than the other stuff. It's simply more beautiful. Why is that?
I was in love. This is an earlier work. It's much more academic.
Yes, I can see that.
Nice.
And this I just did for my own amusement.
It's good, strong work. It's alive. The eyes are marvelous.
Thank you. Oh. This is my Matisse period.
Yes, that you can put right into the fire.
Ouch. That's it.
Well, you have talent, you know that.
A charming talent.
Well, there's so few people that have any talent at all. Too many, of course, but still so very few. Do you have a gallery at the present time?
No.
Well, I'll see if I can drop a word in the right ear. And on that ambiguous note, he rose and swept unsteadily out of the room.
Please don't go.
Oh, I must. Gina will be back now. She was having dinner with a client.
It was a fine meal, Mason.
It was great fun, wasn't it?
Yes.
Well, if you could show me through that maze of locks.
Of course.
Good night.
Good night.
If I get an inspiration about a gallery, I'll be sure to give you a call.
That's very nice of you. Thank you again for dinner. That was really sweet.
That's fine.
I don't think Mason could have known him. Do you?
No, I don't think so.
I wish you could have known him.
So do I.
I saw a movie about nuns once. They weren't allowed to touch it. Are priests allowed to touch?
We're supposed to touch as many people as possible, but not necessarily with our hands.
He touched my perfect body with his mind.
What?
It's a line from a song.
Oh. Well, I better go.
I've been talking to my analyst about you. I thought it was only fair to tell you.
Well, what does the good doctor have to say?
Oh, he finds you fascinating. I really think he'd rather talk about your hang-ups than about mine.
What hang-ups?
I don't mean you personally, exactly. I mean priests in general. You know, priests and nuns and people like that.
You mean celibates?
You're offended.
That attitude denies the possibility of a genuine spiritual calling with respect to celibacy.
You mean somebody who really prefers it that way without being forced? If that's the case, then how come every time you pick up the paper, you read about some priest who's resigned to marry his housekeeper or somebody?
Come on,
What's your housekeeper like, by the way?
Ravishing.
Ugh, I hate her.
Let me finish.
Lord, you're cranky.
The point is that celibacy can be a meaningful vocation.
Meaning what?
Meaning that in a world where so many people are suffering and deprived, suffering and privation can have some meaning.
Are you that kind of priest?
Me? No, hell no. I have a very comfortable bachelorhood. My parish is my prowling ground. I'm cock of the walk up there. I'm top dog. I have a television and a stereo and a bottle of hooch in my room. None of your self renunciation for me. No, sir. And I go to French restaurants with very pretty girls from the East Village who lure me to their apartments. Yes, lure me to their apartments and ply me with very superior old pale. Sit around showing off their wonderful thighs, throwing in Freudian zingers, and all the while wondering when, oh when, is this Christian martyr going to get up and douse the lights and make that pass that we've been building up to, for God's sake.
You're crazy.
Isn't that what you've been building up to for the last 5 minutes?
None of your damn business. What do you mean planning? What makes you think I was planning anything? I can't help it if I've got wonderful thighs, can I? This is the fashion, you idiot. I didn't put it on so you go running around turning off all the lights. Why did you take your jacket off so I could see what a great build you've got?
I took my jacket off because it's hot in here. That fire may be a wonderfully romantic idea, but this time of year it's ridiculous.
You built it.
You suggested it.
You're some kind of maniac.
Ill met by moonlight, proud Titania.
What does that mean?
It's a line from a play. It means I think we're two of a kind.
That you, Joseph? Oh, let's have a look at you. Huh. None the worse for wear, apparently.
I enjoyed it very much, Monsignor.
You've got to be careful in this world, my boy. It can make you lose sight of God's purpose.
I think even God lets himself out of the church every once in a while.
Yeah, but he doesn't have to worry about temptation. Now, tell me about this dinner you enjoyed so much. French, was it?
Very French.
You had snails then?
With garlic butter and chocolate mousse for dessert.
Chocolate mousse? Oh, that's very French indeed. And then, of course, you had some wine.
Champagne. Dom Perignon.
Dom Perignon? He was one of us, you know. Brother Perignon. You know, he practically invented champagne.
I'm really bushed, Monsignor. I have early mass tomorrow, and we don't want me to be late.
Oh, did they have little mints at the door when you left?
Yes, Monsignor. 3 kinds. Pink and yellow and green. May Stuart be at peace. May he be with God. May he be with the living God. May he be with the immortal God. May he be in God's hands. May he sleep in peace. May he live in peace.
Father.
I'm very sorry about your son, Mrs. Chase.
Father, the Mass was beautiful. I just wanted to see you once more to thank you for everything that you have done.
I'm glad I could help.
This sweet child has been taking care of me. Do you know Miss Fitzpatrick?
Miss,
Fitzpatrick. I'm one of the Fitzpatrick girls.
Father, I didn't have time to tell you yesterday, but the one bright spot in all of this bewildering tragedy for me has been that you were with Stuart when he died. His poor father, who also hadn't set foot inside a church for years, died screaming for a priest. And I told my son Stewie, that's how you'll go, son. That's how they all go.
He never screamed, Mrs. Chase. He was very quiet.
That's because you were there.
No.
Oh, yes. They never lose that early training. He could have been a priest just as well as an artist. He could have been a bishop or a cardinal. He was always somebody who was slated for the top no matter what he did. Did I show you these? These are copies of some drawings that he used to send home instead of letters. Look at that. That's him. There. Well, before he grew his beard. He drew himself sitting around with some of his artist friends. You can keep this one if you want to.
Thank you.
He would have settled down in Madison or Milwaukee and been some poor little 9-to-5 nobody just like his father. I had to keep after him every day of his life. I told him, "You are one of God's chosen ones." I said that to him. And don't you ever forget it. Goodbye, Father.
Goodbye.
Oh, Nana Marie. You call me tomorrow and come to my hotel and have a drink. I'll call you. God bless you, my child.
Thank you.
Bless you both.
Who was that, Joseph? That was my mother.
I see. One of your little jokes.
Your mother couldn't have been that bad. Are you talking to me? I guess not. You devil.
Would you like to have that?
Yes. Funny, I don't recognize him without the beard.
Do you recognize any of his friends?
I didn't know any of his friends from before he met me. I don't know why, we just never went anywhere or saw anybody.
I mean, for a whole year, there was just the two of you?
That's right. Jealous?
Are you starting that again? In here?
I'll never know how to behave around you. Listen, could we go somewhere else? What's bad about our relationship now is that you know how I feel, but I don't know how you feel. And
You
of
do
course
know how I feel.
Will you let me finish? I have no right to know. It's none of my damn business.
The same way you do.
You certainly have a funny way of showing it.
It's the only way I have of showing it.
You mean doing nothing?
Nim. That's lovely. That's really lovely. Come on up. I want to introduce you to the Monsignor.
Don't.
Damn right I don't.
When you know nothing's going to happen, it's good. It relieves the tension. Is this where you live?
Yeah.
Nice. Can I see your room?
I don't think so. What are you doing this evening?
What do you mean?
Thought we could talk this thing through.
That'll take a lot of talking. Want some more brandy?
I thought we drank it all.
The end of Emile.
Is it?
He wasn't perfect. I told you, even with his best work, he never felt he got it right.
I guess in some way we're all painting imperfect pictures.
At least most of us only have to please ourselves. How do you know how to go about pleasing God?
I know. It's just that some people have a genuine talent and some people just go by the numbers.
The people who go by the numbers just haven't found their own style yet. Schlank.
Schlank. No candy with that?
This is Health Week.
Oh.
Don't.
Don't what?
You know what.
Surely it's all right to look.
Not like that. Are you looking at me?
No.
You liar. You have good hands.
What would you say if I did that to you?
I'd say your name. I've never said your name. I'd say Joe. Now, Joseph was well-formed and handsome. It's in the Bible. The Catholic Bible. I borrowed it from the library. Can't say I haven't done my homework. I love this waist. First time I saw you, you were tying some kind of rope around it. What was that?
It's called a cincture. It's a symbol of priestly chastity.
Hello? Yes? Hold on. It's for you.
Hello? Joseph? Who is this?
Morning, Joseph. How you feeling?
Is that you, Mulligan? How'd you find me here?
Oh, come on. I'm a detective, remember? Very nice, Joseph. Very, very nice.
What do you want?
What do I want? Oh, yeah. I want to tell you that Danny boy took a walk this morning. His guard had to make a call to nature, and that was all the time he needed. We don't know how he got by the desk. Now, we'll get him. Still in bad shape. He's also dangerous. So if he tries to contact you, well, you know, don't play it like a priest. Play it smart. You know what I mean?
Is that all?
You got a pencil? I'll give you my number.
I got your number.
I walked into that one.
Dan Phelan escaped. That was the police.
They'll want to talk to me now. I should have gone to them right at the beginning. But then I wouldn't have known you. We have time for coffee?
I have to be there at 8.
You're going to go back there and tell somebody all about this, aren't you? You're going to confess and repent and beg to be forgiven.
Yes. You're going to confess everything to your analyst, aren't you?
I'm not going to ask for stupid forgiveness. I'm not ashamed of loving you.
I'm not ashamed of loving you. I am ashamed of betraying him.
You mean Christ?
Yes.
Christ has been dead for almost 2,000 years. Emil died a week ago. I don't feel like I betrayed him.
You never made a solemn vow to him, did you?
He never asked me to. Did Christ ask you?
The church says he did.
I'm not talking to the church. I'm talking to you. I'm talking to Joe McMahon.
Joseph. Oh, we missed you at breakfast.
I'm sorry, Monsignor.
Joseph, are you all right?
Yes. Give me your blessing, Monsignor.
Will you come back to us? May Almighty God bless you in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen.
This is the Lamb of God who takes away the sins of the world. Happy are those who are called to his supper.
I didn't want to come. I just about decided I wouldn't ever see you again. But I didn't know where else to go. I'm scared.
What happened?
Somebody got into my apartment.
When?
Sometime while I was out yesterday. I didn't even notice it till I was in bed last night. I couldn't sleep very well, and that's when I noticed it. Emil's portrait. It was right against the wall, remember? It's gone.
How could anybody get past the locks without a key?
Without 3 keys.
Anybody else have a set of keys?
No, nobody. Nobody but me ever had a set, except Emil. There's something else. That drawing Mrs. Chase gave you? Every time I've looked at it, I thought there was something weird about it. And this morning I took it out. I thought, my God, why didn't I see it before? Remember I said I didn't recognize Emil without the beard? You more familiar? Yeah? What about this one?
No, I didn't do it. I couldn't have. He touched me. How can I explain it? I was never physically any closer than I am to you right now. But he touched me in a way that no man ever did. He was the most available person that I ever met. Anybody could go to him. Anybody. And if he thought that he could possibly help, then he would. He was more use in the world. He touched more people than 50. I'm sorry, but to me, he was more of a Christian than you and your Pope and the Archbishop of Canterbury rolled into one. And I don't even know if he believed in Christ.
Did you take his portrait from Nim's apartment, Mason?
No. No, I didn't take it. But, I did tell Gina about it. Having dinner with you was her idea. She wanted to know exactly how much you knew and what you were planning. She's terrified of being involved in all this. She hates scandal, the way people always do who lead scandalous lives.
Where is she now?
Well, we have a place on Long Island, and often she brings her protégés there.
Is that what Stuart Chase was? The protégé?
Well, she supported him for a while, but nobody ever owned Stuart the way Gina needs to own people.
Next time, let's pay the extra $5 a day. My treat.
Well, I see you didn't have any trouble finding the place. I had the gates opened. I'm expecting lots of company today. Oh, Mason called. He is a great communicator, isn't he?
You mean in that he tells the truth?
About his own wife. How gauche.
Your husband has a conscience.
I prefer to think of it as a big mouth. Since you're here, would you care to see your work properly displayed? After Mason described it, I knew I had to have it. I always wanted anything I could get of Stuart's. As you can see.
But why?
Would you like to sit down? Please. I was the one who wanted to make Stuart Chase a household word. Of course, he hated the idea. He was fascinated by O'Connor and Bernard, pure painters whose anonymity kept their names from becoming a burden to them.
So he became Emile Bernard.
Apparently until that name became a burden to him. So he just gave it up. Along with his painting, his indifference was infuriating. I offered him everything. He wanted nothing. Certainly not me.
Nobody could bribe Emil.
No. So I threatened his work, to destroy it with a knife. We both knew that he would never reach this level of excellence again. He didn't move to stop me. So I threatened his life. He smiled.
You'd kill somebody for being unafraid to die?
Oh, he was mocking me with his goodness. And I was sure that he would grab my arm. But he didn't. What kind of man is that?
A man able to give up gracefully what he couldn't keep anyway.
His life?
No. Just his body. He must have felt he had nothing left to prove to himself or anyone else.
Do you know a Detective Mulligan?
Yes.
He called this morning while I was still sleeping. My houseboy took the number. Perhaps you could introduce us. It's so much more civilized.
Hello.
Hello? Mulligan? This is Father McMahon.
Joseph, I assume you're checking on our boy Dan. You can rest easy. We picked him up this morning. He's back in his little bed of pain at St. Jude's.
No, that's not what I'm calling about. I'm with Gina Drum.
Father McMahon, knowing you has given me a new respect for the Catholic Church.
Then I expect we'll see you at St. Timothy's in the very near future.
But will we be seeing you, Father?
What's this? You're not going to tell me we're out of gas, are you?
It may not sound much more suave than that. We're only an hour or so from Montauk Point. I spent a weekend up there about 12 years ago when I first came to St. Timothy's. I don't know what it's like now, but then it was very wild and deserted and beautiful. I can get a few days off if I want them.
And after? 3 Hail Marys and 3 Our Fathers?
No, not necessarily. I have so much to think about it.
Start the car. I know a better place. Two minutes.
2 minutes? I don't get it.
You need to think by yourself. I'm going back alone. I'll be okay.
What about us?
You're just a baby. You don't know anything about my world except it's more complicated than yours.
I know I love you.
I love you too. But it's a lot easier for me. I wouldn't have to give up anything. You might have to give up everything. So wait and be sure of what you really want. It's my gift. Time.
best gift I've ever been given.
You're a free man, Joe. The kind of guy I could go for someday.
Lord! Lord! I won't forget.
Bye.
Bye.
Father McMahon, it's almost 8 o'clock, Father. Father!
It's all right, Miss Lawler.
Oh, it's close on to 8.
You go
Monsignor.
along down, I'll handle this. Joseph! Joseph! Joseph, we chide them about being late for Mass. Now, don't let us set a bad example. So it's come at last, has it? Be sure of what you're doing, Joseph.
That's what I am doing. Will you ask Father Purdy to take the Mass for me, please?
I'll take it myself. Oh, 12 years we've been together. No, it's more than 12.
There must be more to God's service than putting in time.
God expects obedience.
And I have broken my vows. I've shattered them.
You're not the first, Joseph. But you can gain strength from your weakness.
Once I know what my strength is. The last 12 years have been too easy for me, Monsignor. I'm afraid I've lost touch with what the church is really about.
You don't have to leave here, as long as you have faith.
I don't doubt God. I doubt myself. I met a man who overcame that.
You mentioned this man before.
Yes.
Or perhaps he merely came to accept his own limitations.
I'll settle for that.
So we've lost.
No. No, the church may have gained. My heart and my eyes are open. But I am not going to be a priest unless I can be a good one in whatever context that may be.
I'll pray for you, Joseph. You'll need God's guidance.
That is between him and me and nobody else. Goodbye, Monsignor.
Goodbye, Joseph.